Hello, one and all. Data Dudes Rocker here to interview FOXY about Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The worldwide success, probably over $200 million right now globally. And based on the movie, the life that you've lived, Five Nights at Freddy. So, first of all, how did you find the movie? In all, was it accurate to gameplay and gameplay lore?
Actually, it was pretty accurate to the games. It was more of a mix of 1 and 2, and then like there were some characters like Vanessa from Security Breach. But all in all, it is a pretty good movie.
So it kind of merged.
It kind of merged the games.
Different, like the FNAF verse.
Yes, and the lore. It changed it a little bit, but it gives us a better perspective of what we can expect of the lore.
How is that?
That is pretty good, because then we know what to expect of the lore.
Okay, so the main story play is that William Afton designed these animatronics, and it has the spring lock mechanism. Well,
those are the spring lock suits.
Yeah, suits
not all the animatronics
that captured the kids. Now, from your perspective, was it appropriate for kids, let's say, in the 7 to 14 range, or it's a PG-13 movie?
It's probably like somewhere from like 9 to 14 for me, honestly. Because, like, it's a pretty standard, like, PG-13 movie. It's pretty good. But, there is a few violent scenes that I don't think kids could handle.
Yeah, there's tons of jump scares.
Yeah. And also very, like...
Oh, it's creepy. And there are moments where the tension builds.
So high that, like... It's basically like the games, because it's, like, I don't know, like, the first game where it's, like, Bonnie's on your left side, or Chica's always on your right side, and then like they're both there, and then you have to close both doors, and then your power's getting drained. Okay. So it builds up suspense, because like you don't know when they're going to go away.
So it was great suspense.
Yes,
I mean, it did thrill you enough to be scary.
Yeah, I have actually jumped from the jump scares. Yeah.
In a rare move, the movie was released at the same time it was streamed. So there's box office sellout. I mean, it was a sellout before Halloween, past Halloween, the weekend after Halloween. It's still making some money now. It has a drop off, but it's expected because there's other movies that are coming out. But with that said, I mean, when we attended, it was a sold out theater and it was great vibe. From the audience reaction, everyone seemed to love it, right?
Yes.
It catered to the video game fans and then to the YouTube fans.
Mm-hmm. Like, because it's multiple genres. It's horror, gaming, and partially YouTube, because there is, like, game theory and, like, you know, a lot, like, other YouTubers in there.
Now, that was a big hit.
Yes.
When...
Like, in the movie theaters, all I heard when Matt Pat showed on the screen was... Matt Pat.
And then it exploded and everybody erupted when he said it's just a theory.
Yeah.
Film theory. I mean, that was a clever move by the filmmakers.
Different, but like it shifts side to side.
Yeah, he kind of...
There's film, which is the movie.
And there's food theory in there.
Theory, that is the thing.
And he was in a diner.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's food theory for like his theory on like what was it? Is lunch like the best time of your meal? But that was a huge.
That was a point of disagreement.
Yeah,
we can discuss that further.
Yeah.
So Freddy had all these things out there. Now, walking away from the movie as opposed to the games, are the animatronics good or bad?
From what we know, is that the animatronics are possessed by the spirits of dead children that were murdered by William Afton.
Right. But so they were doing bad things because they were controlled.
They didn't know.
Right.
Yeah,
they were robbed of their childhood and they were robbed of their life.
They're controlled by William until Abby draw the picture of him killing the children.
Yeah,
We
so
can remind
but Abby
them-
was not in the video game lore.
Abby
right?
is not in the video game lore, but if you switch the letters around, it will create Baby, which is another animatronic, which is in sister location.
Okay, interesting. So that's Baby. All right. So we got some freedom to make it into a movie by putting characters like the security guard. Usually you play the security guard, but that's the security guard with his whole family background, which is new.
Which we don't really know about, but like what we do know is that in like the first game, there's a theory that like, we pretty much know that it is Michael Afton who is undercover as Michael Schmidt, I think.
Right, Schmidt.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was my
then
Halloween costume.
Yeah, that was his costume.
I should have wore that today.
Basically, he's like what we think as a theory, or what I think as a theory, because multiple people have different theories. Is that he's going looking for his father after he finds out about the basement.
Okay.
About like his bunker in the basement.
Right.
Which was sister location.
Okay. Right, when they set up a new shop for the pizzeria and all that.
Yeah, because like the games, like they're not in sequential, like the timeline's not in sequential order. It's like you move the, like agreed by most of the fans. You have to move all the games around to make it fit pretty solidly, but there is like still a few gaps in it.
I mean, the whole aim, which is shown every night, is survive.
Survive till 6 a.m. from 12 a.m.
And they did multiple nights.
Yes.
So the one thing I want to touch on here is the kids finally realize through Abby that William Afton was the bad guy who mind controlled him and killed him. Yeah. They kept him alive. They sprung the spring locks into his body, but they kept him alive. And towards the end, what's his face? Locks him in that room.
The crime, like what I think is a crime child.
Okay, so the crime
child,
like
he has a striped shirt.
Right, he locked him in there, which leads us to think there's a sequel.
Yes.
I mean, from the success, I'm sure there's going to be another movie. And what do you think that storyline would be?
If we're talking about like that, I really don't know what game it would be. I haven't thought of that yet, because like they merged a bunch of games from different parts of the timeline.
But what's left out that they didn't get to do? Because they got the backstory of the kids. They freed up the kids, so the kids know, but they're still animatronics now. Are they bad? Are they still going to start it? Let's say a new pizzeria opens up. Another location.
It was a new pizzeria, which is the problem I have with this. If it was a new pizzeria, that would be 2. That'd be FNAF 2. Which you play, what I think is, you play as William Afton in that, trying to get a revenge on Henry for kicking him out of the company.
Alright, so somehow he escapes?
No. In Phone Guys, like, Night 5, I think.
Okay.
He says, somebody got into the Springlock suit, a yellow one.
Alright.
Which, like, they're both yellow, but, like, if you think about it, if you're playing as William, the Spring Bonnie suit would be a pretty, like it's not like a long shot. It's like it's probably the Springlock suit. It's probably the Spring Bonnie suit, because if you play as William.
But this is great. This is our fan theory of what would come up next and how you would.
But like, if we're talking about like him, like William, which he's kept alive to be tortured by the animatronics. If we're talking about that from where like he's getting locked up behind the wall, I don't remember what game or like is after that.
Okay. I mean, there's a few things, right? The security guard survived. The family might be targeted. Vanessa survived. William Afton got taken prisoner by the animatronics. They're going to torture him. So there's a lot of options here.
Because like if like he didn't put the helmet on, he wouldn't really be able to survive it. Because like he has to be fully like
They
he has to
might,
be fully into the
but
suit.
that would be a creepy scene.
No, but he would have to be fully into the suit.
I know, but could you imagine the
to-
creepy opening scene for the sequel? Is he's in a chair, and then they all strap him down, and then they put the helmet on him.
No, he already has the helmet on. You know.
Yeah, but if they're like whatever welded it, and his spirit kind of gets all crazy.
No, it's because like in the games he puts it on, right? He puts a whole suit on because like in the games he's being chased. He's like the four of the dead children
right.
block the door, and what we suppose is Cassidy is chasing him around. So he goes into the Springtrap suit, which I think is supposed to be him saying, "Oh, I'm your friend," because like you know, like in the picture that they drew or somebody drew, they're holding hands like they're friends, right? So he's like, "Oh, I'm your friend," but like the moisture from the leak of the pipe or something like that, I don't know. It could be just because it's like really old. Activated the spring locks and he got spring locked.
Okay.
And then he got locked back there.
I mean,
for like a long time.
I gotta say, a fascinating thing was the animatronics were not CGI.
They were not.
They
CGI.
were not. They were not computer generated. They were really Jim Henson, the Muppets company, were commissioned to make these animatronics, and it looked real, which is great. It's great to see sometimes without the computer generation a real prop that's made. With that said, obviously we know your favorite because you're Foxy.
Yeah.
A lot of other people said their favorite was
Chica.
But above everybody else, what I've been hearing in a lot of circles is people love that Cupcake.
Oh, Cupcake did like arguably the most.
Cupcake was scary.
He was like
frightening.
He went after the guy in the beginning. He springlocked William. He almost killed Michael, and like he made some pretty like really intense scenes where like you can hear him crawling through the vents, and so like he rushes to the vent and closes it, and you see he's just coming at you.
That's nuts.
That's just creepy, and it's like
the kill scenes were actually really crazy.
And again, I don't think this is for like really young children.
Yes, beware and use your common sense. Screen the movie beforehand. Obviously, if you have Paramount, you could watch it on Paramount. Oh, Peacock. I'm sorry, Peacock.
Paramount, Peacock.
Paramount, Peacock. You know, it's the P's. All right. Any last film theories, comments, suggestions, any critiques, good or bad, about FNAF, which everyone was waiting for, and it did not disappoint.
Yes. When I left the theater, the atmosphere was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the movie was like this. And also, they added a lot of like things from the games, like the It's Me, and they also added the Living Tombstone song.
So it's a great
FNAF 1
soundtrack.
Song, which I actually memorized.
All the viewers were overjoyed, and besides themselves with how much, with the surprise appearances and cameos of the YouTubers, and also with how much the gameplay was exactly thrown in there, and some of
and also the secret Easter eggs that are in there, like
tons of
the Springlock suit that Abby almost got put into. It looks a little bit like Baby, just like an alternate, which would make sense, right?
Right.
And also, there's 3, like, if you think about it, there's also, I don't know which one. I think it's Fredbear because he has, like, a purple bow tie and a purple, top hat.
Yeah.
So it's probably Fredbear.
Right.
Right? And he's his limbs are, like, all over the place, right?
Yes.
It's really creepy because, like, that he actually is also, like, kind of possessed.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely creepy. All right.
Very creepy, and like Golden Freddy is like the really probably the most powerful one, because like he's kind of like an illusion and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right. With that said, final score rating.
Rating, I would say it's like a 8.
8 out of 10. FNAF. 8 out of 10. All right, you heard it here, guys. 8 out of 10. Stellar scores. Really good movie. It's still creepy season, spooky season, whatever you want to call it, even though it's past Halloween. Go check it out. FNAF.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Remember to always save the whales.
And also, we're official now.